Continue. Doop. Alright. Mission clues. Alright. Samuel the boatman has smuggled you across the river from Coulter's prison. He works for an underground movement opposed to the illegal reign of the Lord Regent and has brought you to meet the members of the organization. Okay. Oh, we got quite a bit of coins. Okay. Tasks. Meet the loyalists. Okay. That's what we're doing. Do loyal. Ooh. Down pits. God, I love the environments in this game. Outsider walks among us. Okay.
I expect they're hard at work in there. Best join them. They'll help you get whoever really killed the Empress.
So it's starting at last, Admiral. We found our man. Even after 6 months in Coldridge Prison, he slipped out like it was nothing.
Yes. Not surprising. He was the personal bodyguard of the Empress. You've heard the stories.
Yes, I have. It still amazes me that someone could get to the Empress and young Lady Emily.
No one knows the real story. We all have our suspicions. We'll know the truth in time.
He's strong and quick. But I hope he understands subtlety as well.
This isn't one of your fancy dress parties. The reality is that we need men killed. Have you ever killed a man?
Only with my wit. But it's a fair point as always. He'll be here soon, and I'm looking forward to meeting him.
You don't know how soon.
We'll continue this later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here. Corvo, I'm Admiral Havelock. A true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pits pub.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo. I'm going to come out with you. We've been building a coalition of loyalists, aimed at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
We've got big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight, and in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
Sorry, you must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging at times, but his industrious mind buys him that right.
Okay.
Yes. Piero's as much an artist as a technician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him, and then get some sleep. We can talk more when you've rested.
Piero. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and grab some of these things back here. Don't you think I need to eat? Because my health is already full. So. Yeah. But we can have an apple tartlet as a treat. The Lord Regent is a shriveled prick and a liar. Get his ass. Hello.
I'll be crafting your weapons and gear, all custom work. For you, I will create the tools of a master assassin. No! This cannot happen now. The tank of whale oil is running.
Ah, beans.
Will you get a new tank from upstairs, please, while I hold this in place? Be careful. Oil's unstable. When it explodes, there's a terrible mess.
Got it. Ooh. Piero, no, I will not sign off on all these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal? Tivian ore? What's wrong with the metals in Bristol? King Sparrow feathers? If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the academy everything you needed was paid for by tariff and handed out willy-nilly, but this is my bar, or what's left of it, and we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else, so you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchases unless they're absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need these things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city's in ruins, so no one's going to miss any of the old crap you seem to need. Admiral Havelock. Cool piece of world building. Those are the words I wanted to say. Excerpt from a series of newspaper articles from prominent natural philosophers by Piero Joplin. I will be reading, like, all of the lore that I find, just to let y'all know. Second solution. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Solokov's elixir over my own formula, sold as Piero's remedy, a name I did not choose if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual message of idiocy, spending their coin as a means of selecting Solokov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal, if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because this strain works off an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled in its effectiveness. I studied it within the blood of those so afflicted, and it's nearly perfect. Elegant, in fact. While it's true that Piero's remedy and Solokov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties, not fully understood, which relate to the mind itself and the spirit. It is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest. For you see, Solokov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body, is a crass goo better suited for livestock. The subtle and secret variants in the key ingredients making up Piero's remedy ensure that it works on the higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed hagfish swimming in the Wrenhaven River. Okay. Good to know Piero. Medicinal herbs, yes. Do I eat? Oh, I eat that. I don't need to eat that right now. Let's go up here. Portal. There's remedy, hound pits. Fun. Okay. Dead counter responsibilities. Excerpt from a manual on new City Watch procedures. Commissioned by the Lord Regent in the face of the growing plague crisis, the dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades. It is most matters of edict or curfew enforcement. In most matters of edict or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague and the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague symptoms, called weepers in common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test and, if accepted, for the 2-week training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir at 1 1/2 normal pay grade. Field experiments. Excerpt from a series of lectures on natural philosophy by Piero Joplin. Of course, I have attempted to improve upon Solokov's designs. Of course. And why not? After all, it is likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. We are all part of a community, striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even those among us who possess the greatest minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does one say it, our intellectual subordinates. Solikov is no exception to this, despite the glamour of genius he has cast over the aristocracy. And further, it is true that many of my experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind my back in your social clubs and in the very chambers of the Academy itself. Great ambition requires risks. You may not laugh now at my door to nowhere, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see the electric lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few short years ago, you would have laughed at Solokov's arc pylon or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are nothing but evidence of your own limited imagination. Whale vivisection. Excerpt from the notes of a natural philosopher aboard a whaling ship. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second leg of the trip, east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard a female, some 42 feet in length, ship. I estimate she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the massive tentacles around her mouth. Within, I found a row upon row of teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Through this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. Whale oil processing. Excerpt from the founder of the Greaves Whale House by Ebenezer Greaves. Out at sea, they secure the beast. They secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Buoys keep the whale from diving deep. Once it's caught, a larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them onto the deck, then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to port in Dunwall, where the crew works on the great creature, slicing off the fattiest parts while it still lives. Ew. Jeez. Whale oil refilling station. Solikov no longer has the upper hand with regard to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. Sorry, I'm getting a message. Okay. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it in the correct configuration. Using the lever will begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They are quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears that the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly, for once.
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors in the body. I could build a tank that would slowly increase pressure on a subject over a long period of time, and then observe them for years if need be, to see if the formulation of energetic substances developed. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities, subject to the necessary legal amnesty.
Okay. Got a mad scientist here, it seems. Have I been crouching? No. I think Corvo is just kind of short. Pull over once, remove tank to fill, remove tank carefully. Okay. Yoink.
Perfect. Now plug it in.
Cool. Bop.
Just get it near the... Perfect. Thank you, Cole. Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face. But this mask will mean terror to them. If you just hold still, fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? Send the lens out of alignment. There. Better now? I could create more for you. Upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions. But our situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables and I will resell them on the black market. That should give us the money to craft the things you need. Tell me what I can make for you.
Oh. Let's have a look. Ooh, okay. Allows you to rewire circuitry and turn security systems to your advantage. Ooh, yes. Disable security devices or make them work in your favor by using a rewire tool on the circuitry panel for the security device you want to hack. This consumes the rewire tool. Rewired walls of light, arc pylons, and watchtowers will harm your enemies instead of you, while rewired alarms will be fully disabled. Nice. Yes, definitely want that. Spring razor. Sleep bolts, crossbow bolts. Crossbow bolt. Yeah, let's get those. Grenade. crossbow accuracy would be great. Okay. And then we'll get some of this stuff later, I guess. Magnify you, okay. Bone charm. Sword crossing. It makes the sword more effective when locking blades and pushing against an enemy. Okay, that's nice, actually. This is some good stuff. Should we get some... should we get sleep bolts? Yeah. Why the fuck not? Alright.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon. You should rest while you can.
I'd like to take a look for a while.
Very well. You know best. Let me know if you need anything more.
Cool. Craftsman tutorial. Crafting okay gear. Bringing collected blueprints to Piero will allow you to unlock new upgrades to buy. Nice. Okay. Yep. Star chart. Oh. You can just mess with shit. That's fun. We've read that. Bitterleaf, crematorium, and fluid works. Oh. Huh. Dunwaloiske. Cannot kill the rat plague. Alright. Ooh. What's down here? Oh, I think I remember this from the last time I played. Is that my keys jingling? Oh, no, that's the chain. Okay. Old Port District sewer key needed. Keyhole? Ah. Can I... There we go. Ah, nope. Let's go explore a bit, actually. Or I might not be able to, because we might be, because there's like, the only way I know how to describe it is superpowers you get later on that lets you, like, actually explore these upper buildings. So we'll just do that later.
Is the man dangerous?
Yes, very much so, but no need to fear. He is here to work with our masters.
People say he killed the empress.
Of course he didn't. People are foolish and believe whatever they're told.
Okay. If the Admiral trusts him, then so will I.
Oh, hello.
The Admiral served in the Navy under the Empress. But something happened with the Lord Regent that drove the Admiral out. If I understand it right.
Cecilia. What can I find? Oh. Hello?
Pleased to meet you, Master Corvo. I saw you at court in happier days, but you might not remember. I was once a close ally to the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs, back when he was just the spy master. He's one manipulative bastard, I can tell you that.
Doopity doop doop doop.
My furnishings have been installed at last with no small amount of complaining by that antiquated boatman. The others have no idea what it's like to suffer as I have. Speaking
Wallace, please breathe 2 bottles of Dunwall Red, never mind which, and fetch a clean glass. Well, I'll begin again tomorrow.
Gaffer's Tale. Excerpt from the travel journal of a whaler in his final years. A Gaffer's Tale, Volume 2, or a Gaffer's Final Passage. After more than a quarter of a century, I am done with whaling, too broken to continue. I've seen all the corners of the Isles and more coin than most men see in the lifeline, and made more coin than most men see in a lifetime. But it's all gone. I've lived through an emperor and watched his daughter take the throne. Fair young empress she was, but slain so young. Everything beautiful comes to die. I've eaten in every port of the known world and sailed in the loneliest waters you can imagine. I've seen the cliffs around Pandysia. Even the best of it doesn't give me an ounce of joy. The years come back across my dreams as a line of butchered bodies, long, sleek, and singing among the waves under the moonlight, only to be speared by ugly, weather-scarred men who knife each other for a good pair of boots. Each year I had less time to come home. My tongue forgot the language of small chatter, and those who lived in the cities thought me odd. My sister Nina hardly knew what to say to me during our visits. When she lost her business to the Lord Regent's crooked barrister, I was 100 miles east of Morley, gaff hand frozen from the sleet as we tracked the first bull whale we've seen in months. I helped her as much as I could, but Nina died in the early days of the plague. None of it mattered. If I'm jaded and bitter, it's because this industry has taken away my dreams. The world has beaten me. Damn, dude. Havlog, log entry 1. Ugh. Throat's getting dry. It has been days since our men were dispatched to stash weapons for Corvo in the old sewer. They've not returned, so I can only hope that they succeeded in getting the packages delivered. Piera sent considerable time and resources making those things. If I could find a way to mass-produce them, the Dunwall Navy would secure its place as the dominant force in the globe. But back to Corvo. Can he actually break out of Coldridge? And if so, will he make his way here? I personally give him odds of 1 in 5. Thanks for believing in me. Admiralty and the Fleet. Excerpt from a book on naval history. While each of the Isles has some form of naval fleet, none is more envied than that of Bristol, with its long, proud history of great ships and the admirals who commanded them. Boys come of age in the cities of Bristol hoping to someday captain such a ship, and family dynasties are made by those captains who track down infamous pirates or crush seditious uprisings, as during the Morley insurrection. This whole stream might just be reading lore bits. Not that I'm looking at this. Which is fine by me. In times of war and peace, Bristol continues to innovate at sea. The ship designs of Anton Solikov himself now represent the highest standard in the whaling trade, allowing crews to haul their kill up over the deck and begin their butchery and processing, even as the ship returns to Dunwall. The crews can be seen working on their latest whale as the ship moves slowly up the Redhaven River, coming to dock with one of the powerful warehouse companies such as the Greaves Whaling House. Suspended in the rigging overhead and backlit by the setting sun, the silhouette of one of these creatures makes a moving sight as it cruises to its final resting place in the industrial heart of the capital city. See what I can snag. Ooh. That's expensive. Oh. Guess I should have read this first. Oops. Excerpt from the travel journal of a young whaler, A Gaffer's Tale, Volume 1, or A Gaffer's Early Adventures. My sister Nina and I left Tivia together, saying goodbye to our aunt, the woman who had raised us since childhood. Leaving behind our home city of Yarrow and the cold but beautiful white landscapes we had always known, we boarded a ship for Dunwall. Our parents had left us with a sizable inheritance, and we spent half of this getting to the capital city and establishing a small import shop dedicated to Tivian furs. Once I'd helped Nina establish the business, I was free to pursue my dream. Signing on with a whaling ship was the most exciting thing I'd ever done, and I saw it as a means to an end. Someday I would captain my own crew, and eventually own a fleet of similar vessels. With tears in her eyes, Nina kissed me farewell, and I did not see her again for many months. As an apprentice to the gaffer, I got to see the tracking and killing of the great beasts up close. Nothing had ever fired my spirit so, as the wind and pounding waves, racing after a wounded whale, being pulled by a skein of cables embedded in its thick flesh. I changed more in those first 7 months than I had in previous 7 years. Whaling was beginning to put its mark on me, so that Nina barely recognized me when I returned, tanned and sinewy with muscle, weather creases already wrinkling the corners of my eyes. But she could see that I was filled with joy, having found my purpose. Neato. Let's go upstairs. Oh, hi. Wallace.
Please follow me to your quarters.
Sure. Oh.
This is your room. It was chosen to give you privacy. I understand you'll need your rest.
Yep. Thanks, sir. Let's look around a little bit. Ooh. Think. Can hop out here. Fun. Okay. Blood from the eyes. Alrighty. So yeah, like later on, I'll be able to like get powers to like help me traverse all of this. But for now, let's go back in here.
Curfew extends from sundown to sunrise unless you are otherwise authorized. Violators will be subject to interrogation and detained when necessary. Remember, the boldest measures are the safest.
I don't think that's right. Is this where I came in at? Yes, okay. Alright. Time for sleeps. Bop. Somewhere else. Oh yeah, this part. Graves lighting oil. Oh. Something's not right. Ooh. Neato. Oh.
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark.
Ooh.
Forces in the world and beyond the world. Great forces that many call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power. My gift to you. Come find me.
Press split to execute a fast and stealthy forward dash through the world. You can also use it to move upward, but the distance is reduced. Aiming at ledges will allow you to blink forward and climb up. Hold bleh to target your destination with precision. A blue sphere indicates that you should reach your destination. A blue arrow indicates that you will climb up when you reach your destination. Okay. Woo! Sick. Oh. You cannot save her, you cannot save her, you cannot save her. Oh, fuck. Where's it? Thought I heard a sound. Can I open this? Yes. Woo! Press T to drink mana potion. Ah. Oh. Wait, is that? Emily. Newsletter. Corvo. I am very sad. They say that you're dead like mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. You couldn't have said where you were, Emily. Sweetie. I know you're like 10, but come on. Okay. Whoa. I don't think I ever noticed that before. Who the heck is that? Huh. What? Hello? There's this idiot. I'm trying to parse what all of this is. Oh, it's Dunwall. Who's on the table? Oh, I can't see it. I think it's just randos. Oh. Hello. Missing. Is that me? Huh. Oh, wait. No, that's probably Piero. No, wait. No. Is that Solikov? Huh. Dunwall. White Cliff. Basilon. Sagunto. Colero. Huh. Alright. Oh. Whap! Ooh. Got these tall boys. That's fun. Docks, Holger Square. Oh, that's not grabbable. Okay. Whee. Ooh, is there something down here? Oh! Oh, I love that lighting effect. Is there something? No, we don't need to go down there. I don't know if I can get back up. What? Candles? Oh.
In the days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
Ugh. Equipping the heart in your left hand helps you to locate bone charms or runes, even through walls. The heart beats and lights up when you are facing a bone charm or rune, and it beats faster as you get closer. The heart will whisper secrets if you press bleh while targeting a person or location.
This place is the end of all things, and the beginning.
Oh, I can just jump. Okay.
All of time is meaningless here. Neither seconds, nor centuries. Someday this place will devour all the lights in the sky. The one who walks here is all things. Cradle songs of comfort and bones gnawed by teeth.
Anything here? Oh.
This is the place from which those who dabble in black arts draw their power. And this place is their doom. I can feel a great age ending. This place is the end of all
okay,
things,
oops.
and the beginning.
Ooh. Oh, do I drop down? Sure. Boop. Trying to like make sense of all this. This is trippy. Hui. Oh. Up. Ah, oh. Interesting. Boop. Boop. Ah, that's nice. Okay. Ooh. Yoink. Runes and acquiring powers. Once you've collected some runes, open the journal and go to the powers section to exchange them for powers. Runes can be collected and used to acquire supernatural powers. Awesome. Ooh. Okay. Oh, devouring swarm. That's awesome. Oh, it costs 3. Oh, I see. Oh, these are the ones I can get. I see. Health increased. See in the dark and see living beings through walls, including their fields of vision. Ooh. Ooh. That's nice. Yeah, I like dark vision. Power, dark vision. Press bleh to see in the dark and to reveal living beings through solid walls. You can also see their fields of view, as well as a visual representation of the sound you make. Level 2 shows you important items through walls, like security devices, weapons, ammo, coins, keys, or traps. That's real nice. Shadow kill? What is shadow kill? Unaware enemies who don't see you turn to ash as they... Shadow kill causes the bodies of slain enemies to turn to ash if they were unaware at the time of their death. This is useful for stealth since you can time your actions so that one killed enemy fades away before another turns and might see him. Further, you do not have to hide the bodies if you have this enhancement since they turn to ash and fade away. At level 2, this enhancement works even if slain enemies are aware of you. Oh god, that is a great one. That's awesome. Okay. We gotta find 2 runes.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Sure. Hidden in an old bar on the river, your new allies have plans to share with you. Meet with the Loyalist Inner Circle to learn what they've got in mind. Ooh. I just... Whoa. Ha! Sick. Mystical whale artifact? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh! Bone charms! Bone charms provide small supernatural benefits. Locate them by listening for the song they emit. By default, you can activate up to 3 bone charms at once in the bone charm section of the journal. Nice. Very cool. The Journal of Granny Rags. Oh, Granny Rags! Oh my god! I love Granny Rags. Okay. Excerpt from the ramblings of a street denizen. Of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen, I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest among the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street, where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside. Warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first 2 are hitting him with sticks. The girl is with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine, fine people. Vera more, everyone would say. Your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Better even. Your dinners are lavish and your parties are the best. When that young Solikov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all of my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pendicia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me. Make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower. The royal headsman himself now. My little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Better bones were what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish and scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup and then he was sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts, I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old and I don't have money to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for Granny Rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Battle Street. Slackjaw and his boys always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end we'll be together with him. You and me in the dreary night with stars above and below. And always the one with the black eyes, dearie. I love Granny Rags! Queen! Ooh. Got so many bones. Reminiscent sightings Dowd. Excerpt from an overseer's covert field report. For over a year now I have lived away from the Abbey without the company of my overseer brethren or the guidance of the blind sisters of the oracular order. Oh my gosh, my throat's getting so sore. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut purses, murderers, and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers. At times I had ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and the outlying ruins frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long, and I wear the weathered clothing and bits of boiled leather favored by the Bottle Street and Hatter gangs, and by those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who are not fit to live, executing them justly, and using their deaths as means of building my reputation. So far, this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dowd in order to get close to him. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dowd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off the Pandasian coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to the legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead, and the witch controlled the crew, with Dowd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years we now believe he spent traveling the Isles, studying anatomy and the occult in the great halls of learning and in hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dowd is even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself, and for a time, before a schism developed, he counted the Brigmore witches among his allies. After all the while, he had honed his craft, and it is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the outsider. Oh, give me a second. Ooh. Alright, actually, I'm gonna go, grab, a drink real quick. I will be right back. Give me, 2 minutes. Okay, and we're back. Crack this open. Some nice bottle opening ASMR. Alright. What was I? New reports emerged of a dusky-skinned assassin paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke. From a nearby rooftop he gestured, and a noble woman stumbled from her balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dowd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapor masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds, enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come across a strange scene. Carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled brother, she was taking a shortcut through the Trailers district. In a narrow street, she passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the rowdy curtain, the girl saw an abandoned apartment, used by miscreants for gambling and trading haberweed. Excuse me. An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from the teachings given by her local overseer. A man she described as resembling Dowd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit, as if in argument. He took a carving, made of pale bone, from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt. Dowd is an agent of the outsider and must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath and the great purpose of my life. Until doubt is dead and his corruption has been purged from the world, I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way toward him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's mask again until doubt breathes no more. Ooh. Oop. Yep. Alright, I think this is the last note we'll read and then we will end stream. Actually, let me grab all these bones. Alright. Pouch. Oh my gosh, okay. We'll read these last two notes and then we'll end stream. Boink. Field survey notes. The Royal Spy. Excerpt from the personal memoirs of Hiram Burroughs, dated several years earlier. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the Distillery District, but more slowly than I expected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the Royal Executioner's blade. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day, removing the heads that need removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that it is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting person, to believe that traitors move among us, but I know they do. They must. No, Jessamine would rather spend her time with the Royal Protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety, but a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wineglass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. There are many threats around us, threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dunwall Tower she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles, yet her mother spoils her and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Corvo to teach her to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunwall Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in his day Emperor Caldwin left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they pleased. If it were up to me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The waterlock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday, the wrong person is going to slip in and will suffer for it, mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting heads of state. The Empress also disapproves of my plans for the Solikov devices. Solikov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain, and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the watch. Excuse me. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, will it sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. Perhaps I have been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order, perhaps somewhere nice in the estate district. Hiram Burroughs, Royal Spy Master. Alright. One more. Doobity-doo. Oh, God. Oh, no. That's Granny Rags. Yeet. Alright. Let me wet my whistle. Oh. Alright. Dishonored is such a vibe. I love this game. Oh my gosh. The aesthetic is so good. And, like, this is the first time I've actually, like, stopped and, like, read all of, like, the little bits of lore that are, like, scattered around. So, a lot of, like, all of this sort of information is new to me, which is exciting. Alright, early life and criminal record. Slackjaw. Excerpt from a series of letters sent by a member of the Bottle Street Gang. You want the chinwag on Slackjaw? What he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but if it oh my God. But it weren't always like that in the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street Gang. Time was, young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinched whenever he needed. Dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe at the age of 10. Oh, thanks for the follow! Whimsical Dice. Thank you so much. Where was I? Smoking a pipe at the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanages, it was either the gangs or working in the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put down in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns anymore, Slackjaw was the one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart on the sidewalk street vendor, or a sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the splits. Most of us just went along, because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more coin. Plus, none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across town, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he was an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening, we were all talking in a bodies show in the theater house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning, and throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Slackjaw, hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. We look to see if there's going to be blood blah, 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 blah. But Slackjaw just points out at the door, and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day, without telling us why, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so he just come along. We stop at the docks, and Slackjaw buys, actually pays coin for it, a heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off the side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off at different angles. Slackjaw's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reached his girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside, and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees Slackjaw on the street, a look comes over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, heading straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins, and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams, but Slackjaw holds onto the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with the chain wrapped around his left arm, hooks sunk into Mike the Fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Excuse me. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that and using his left hand, but he was a big guy, and it took a lot of stabbing before he went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going until finally it was just Mike the Fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, and here's the brilliant part, Slackjaw took out a note and stuck to Mike's face with a nail. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple of months, but word spread fast. By the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses, telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green-Eyed Trish even came back missing a thumb. But apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. Seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market, another slipping and falling into the water, out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly opened wide by a Tivian pear stuffed into his mouth. Still not sure what that meant. And Sheila Barnsworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters, offers to the underbosses, telling them they'd be treated fair as peers. He even sent Green-Eyed Trish with one of the letters. All of the other underbosses accepted. Take another sip. Ugh. Alright. After spilling the guts of his main competition, Slackjaw went in for stableness in his business, real neat-like. Calling in favors, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus. Showing what he could be like as a boss. So everything got quiet, which always makes the boys of the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spymaster's snitches, the responsible citizens group they called themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms along the shopkeepers and watched too, and telling them that he was in town to stay and that things would be run properly from now on, without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running the hound fights, and offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night, if you take my meaning. Then the plague came. At first, it seemed like a good thing. God, this is long. A few people got sick, and everyone wanted to buy those potions from Solikov or Piero. Health elixir or spiritual remedy, they call them. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had old whiskey... Oh my god. We already had an old whiskey factory with a still where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Solikov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon, everybody in the slums was sick and business was good. But after a while, there were so many people down with plague that everyone got scared. Everybody started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunwall would slide into the void. Spymaster Burroughs took over, and the Watch started using all that new Solikov technology. Watchtowers, tall boys, and them arc pylons. They put up a wall of light across Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. Shit. But Slackjaw surprised us again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley or one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch, with their taxes and rations, and that's kept us alive, so far. Crowley, Bottle Street Gang. Oh my god, that was so much to read. Holy shit. Alright. Oh, let me get the rune. Let me get the rune. Oh, I can.
Somewhere in the basements below, hound feels hound, and money changes hands.
I forgot it did that.
Such laughter, and they're singing the old songs, linking arms.
Ouch.
But that was from a happier time. Deals are made here, sometimes under the influence of wine, and sometimes the influence is the point of a knife. Before the sun rises, they toss any casualties into the river. Men or hound, they all go in.
Oop, oop, oop.
They top off the wine with river water, but eventually someone swoons. Then fresh bottles are fetched from the cellars. Their fate.
Oop. Play your way. Powers. The powers you obtain from runes can be used creatively to defeat enemies or move through the environment. Blink from roof to roof, possess rats and fish, or slow time before rushing a group of enemies.
On your effort, on the strength of your hands, and of your heart. They stood in a circle around the candles, and cut their hands to form their lines.
Ouch, 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 I'm gonna die. There's murder fish in here. Oh god, how do I get out? Oh my god! Corvo! Oh, how do I... Oh my god, okay. How do I get out of here? Oh my god, okay. Can I... There we go. Okay. Yeesh. Is there a... Okay. Alright, I think I am going to end stream here, because I feel like once we talk to Admiral Havelock, that's going to launch into the next chapter. But this was fun. I kind of like this sort of like pause before the next chapter, like reading all the lore and stuff like that. I hope it was interesting enough for people to actually watch, but it's fine. I'm probably going to stream this, yeah, definitely on Fridays. Fridays or Saturdays. And then for right now, I will not be appearing on the Soulbound SMP because my character has died. So we are currently figuring out a way for, you know, me as a player to like come back into the story. And that is going to take at least a couple of weeks, probably like up to 2 months. But if you want to like still see stuff from the Soulbound SMP, you can go follow like other members of it and to see who what members those are. Please go watch my videos because it's a long list. And those can be found on my YouTube page, the 44th Pilot, as well as... Oh, hello. Want to hear about the Soulbound SMP? They can be found on my YouTube page as well as Ethan's Golden Boy 22, or now Misbehaving 33 has started putting videos on her channel. So yeah, you can follow any of us. And yeah, this is where I leave you. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.